What's up guys, DuArktik here with another Marvel Strike Force video, and in this video we are back for Season 13 of Cosmic Crucible. We're going to talk about Cosmic Crucible defense, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to run for at least the first week. We probably will have to do some adjustments in the future. Of course, those adjustments will be available on my Patreon for the members who support, but for now this is what I'm going to use. And this is based on the experience I had on Season 12, with some slight changes, because that season it went very well for me, and we have some of the rules that work in the same way. Now, we have the level 105, which might be a problem, and we have new teams also coming to the game all the time, including the Starjammers, but the Starjammers are only going to be fully released by the end of the month. And I'm going to assume that our duck will be the last character to be released, because he's the most consequential for the Cosmic Crucible meta. So hopefully that will be the case, and that means that this defense should be very solid as well. Now, this is a very heavy defense, and I would say that this is not for everyone. You need to have most of these characters available, and depending on the size, it might not work for you. So keep that in mind. This is definitely very heavy defense, but if you want some inspiration, this is what I'm going to use in order to tackle the Grandmasters. Now we are Grandmasters, oh my god, yes. So there we go. Okay, so as always, if you like information on these videos, make sure to share it with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content, and make sure to smash that like button like a boss. Room 1, we have Hunting Sense. Striker characters are going to apply bleeds on successful attacks. Raiders and skirmishers will do their isolate attack if the character that they are attacking, they have bleeds, right? So this means that raiders and skirmishers, they are going to do the striker isolate without having striker isolate. This is a very interesting mechanic. Something you have to realize is that you don't need strikers to apply the bleeds. You need characters that apply bleed to take benefit of the secondary effect, so keep this in mind. And with this in mind, I'm going to use a team that applies a lot of bleeds, which is Illuminati with Thanos and Gaim. We have Black Panther Shuri, that even that she's a raider, she's going to apply bleeds, because whenever she gets defense up, she applies bleeds. So we are going to be able to activate and even do the striker isolate with her, because she's a raider, right? They already have bleeds, she's a raider, she's attacking, and then she's going to do the isolate attack. In terms of other characters that we also want to use as a raider, we have Black Bolt, and we also have Thanos and Gaim. He applies more bleeds, he also turn rewinds whenever he attacks, so that's going to be nice. Captain Britain, we're going to keep him as a striker, because when he attacks, he gives defense up, and the defense up is going to give bleeds. So there we go. So him alone will give the bleeds for the entire team, because it activates the defense up, and Shuri gains defense up, and she applies the bleeds. Hank Pym, we're going to keep him as a healer, just to make sure that we have enough healing and sustain for the team. This team is only supposed to last 2 matches, and that's it. You cannot expect like to have 3 defensive wins from this one. You are just supposed to have 1 defensive win from this, and that's it. Let's move on to the next room, Spec Ops. We had this room in the past. On successful dodge, you gain stealth. Characters with stealth do more damage. So this means if the character already has stealth, like Corvus Glaive, is already going to do more damage. You don't need to dodge for that. So we're going to rely on characters that already have stealth. And well, we have both. We have stealth and we have dodge. So we have a Spider Society with Pavitr. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep Pavitr here. We'll see about that. Maybe we're going to use Pavitr on offense. But we're going to pair them up with Mephisto. Mephisto is going to give them more health. And this team is going to be double sacked anyway, right? Because of Mephisto. If people are going to try to one-shot it, they might make a mistake and lose. It's dangerous, so they might double sack it anyway. So this is how we have a team that is good but not good enough. And at the same time, we're going to force the enemy to burn 2 attacks here, right? And after that, after the 2 attacks, it will probably get one-shotted. But that's fine. That's fine, because you already wasted 2 attacks there in terms of efficiency. And like I said, after that, it's all based on making sure that the enemy loses as much efficiency as possible. And that's why I'm considering removing Pavitra from here and use him elsewhere, where he can be more impactful. So, Spider Society with Mephisto, I'm just not sure if with Pavitra or not. Let's move on to the next room. If the game moves, okay, there we go. We have Momentum. Special abilities cost 2 more, ultimate abilities cost 2 less, and whenever an enemy character dies, ally characters gain energy. I'm not sure if this is my allies or the enemy allies. I'm going to assume that it's going to be my allies, right? I'm not sure. The English of these rules is very convoluted, but we'll see. So for this room, we're going to use Annihilators plus Scroll plus Kaori. Kaori is going to start with her basic, but after she does the ultimate, and there is a very high chance that throughout the match, she will do the special. This was something that on Tournament 32, it was a problem, because she would take very long time to do her special. We're going to use her as a healer, and we're going to use Annihilators, just to make sure that no vulnerabilities are applied to the team. So even after the sack, if someone tries to do with Cabal or anything like that, that we still have some extra development going on, but this is something that we might adjust. Super Scroll here, we have 2 heroes, we have 2 villains, so Super Scroll is fully enabled. Raider Isolate on Super Scroll is my favorite, and then we have the Annihilators, just to make sure. This is going to be good because this team in the past was countered very easily by Old Man Logan, but Kaori stops Old Man Logan from reviving and Daken, so maybe you can capitalize on that. And because they are getting energy as well, this team might still have their abilities after the first sack or anything like that, so hopefully your opponent will attack once or twice in this room because of this setup. Moving on to the next room, we have Resolve. All characters on death apply offense up, and on death apply trauma to the enemy. So this is a room where we want to use summoners, and that's pretty much it. So we don't have that many summoners. There is Undying, there is Sinister Six, and there is Orcish. So we're gonna rely on Orcish with Emma Frost, just to make sure that Night Stalkers go a little bit slower, right? Probably people will still use Night Stalkers plus Kestrel, but at least they are not using Kestrel elsewhere. And that's good for us. We want to dealerize a weight on Scientist Supreme just to make sure that she clears the negative effects away. And then we have Nimrod with Sentinel to clap really hard against the enemies. Fortifier on Emma Frost, just to make sure that she has a lot of barrier and she survives. But if you decide to go with her with some other isolate setup, it's okay too. I don't think this team is going to be like amazing for any chance. You just want to make sure that your enemies use their Night Stalkers, and at the same time that there is a chance that Night Stalkers fail or that they lose efficiency. This is not a room where they're going to get stuck. You just want them to lose as much efficiency as possible. Moving on, we have the Resurrection Protocols room. This room at the moment is not good. We have mutant characters on spawn gain revive once and immunity, and there is a lot of mutants. We have X-Men characters, we have X-Force characters, we have Astral, we have whatever else. There are a few mutant characters out there, like Shadow King, right? The problem is that you don't have like the setup that you want to put together with them is not very good. There are a few situations that you could make. I'm not sure about that, so I'm just going vanilla. We're gonna go with X-Men, with Nightcrawler, and Gambit, Jubilee, and Forge. If you don't have Jubilee geared up, that's fine. You can use your Cyclops, or Forge, or Sunspot, or whatever you want. It's fine. You just want to make sure that you have Rogue and Gambit, and that's it, and Forge, just to make sure that the enemies lose a little bit of efficiency. You can use Nightcrawler against Illuminati on offense, that's normal, but now because we have a Phoenix Force, this might be unnecessary. So it's gonna be nice to have 1 or 2 rooms where your opponents have to use a speed up and Vulture, right? Because if they have to use Vulture for room 2, they don't have Vulture to use on room 3. So there is a chance that they try to cheese it with some Cabal or with some Kang or whatever. And that's a good value. If you are trading a raid team for Cabal, that's great for us. And we'll take that. So that's good enough. Once again, we are not trying to make like insane combo or anything like that. We're just trying to make sure that our opponents lose some efficiency. And lastly, for the last room, we have Charging Power. And in this room, on spawn, characters will get 5 energy on their ultimate. And when you use your ultimate, you're gonna get ability blocked, which is not great. So for this room, we are going to use Dormammu with Shadow King, Miss Marvel Light, and we have Photon and Doctor Strange. This was a room that I used in the past. The room rules where I used this team was not as good, but this is better. And our Light, she's gonna do her ultimate early on, which is fine. And she's gonna apply ability block to our characters, right? It's not a big deal, it's fine. Dormammu is going to do his special, is going to do his ultimate. He's actually going to do the ultimate first. And hopefully he is going to heal up our team and doing enough damage for them to recover from that ability block. We'll see how this works. This is the one that needs to be tested out a little bit. We could use this team in other room as well, but we'll see how it goes. Some of these teams, because of the new rules, they need to be slightly adjusted after. But I think this is going to be a solid defense. It's a confusing defense. It's a defense that forces you to make some risks. And the best of all is that allows you to use Odin on offense. As you guys can see, we don't have Odin anywhere. And that's a good thing because you might want to use your Odin in some room that is not super difficult, but difficult enough. And use your Immortal X-Men and use your Phoenix Force in other rooms. So you can one-shot pretty much everything without having to rely on Odin, right? And that's the main goal, is to make sure that the enemies just make more mistakes than you, and at the same time that you have more efficiency than they have. But this is the defense that I'm going to use for this first week of Cosmic Crucible. Once again, we are on Grandmasters or whatever this is. Yeah, Grandmasters. It doesn't make any real difference, let's be honest. It's all about being consistent. We were very consistent on the Tournament 32. We got 9 wins out of 10. 9 out of 10, that sounds pretty legit. And I'm excited to be back to this format of 6 rooms. But at the same time, I think I like the 3-1 more. At least it was different, right? We'll see. But you guys let me know in the comments below if you prefer the 3 rooms rather than 6. Or if you prefer 8 rooms rather than 6. I don't think we have enough teams right now for 8 rooms. But maybe in the future, we'll see. But that's going to be all for now, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to smash that like button. And if you found information helpful, make sure to share it with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe for more mouse safe force content. And I'll catch you guys later.